Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and this is an M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and we're on the north spawn of Erlenberg. Now this M44 has not only 2 marks of excellence on the barrel, which shows he's a very experienced player, but he's also got the Brazilian flag, so I can presume that this gentleman is Brazilian. And he goes by the name of RATAOMASTER. I don't know what that means, but certainly it'll be interesting to see one of our fellow players from Brazil having a go on the North American server. I should think he must be. Anyway, he's setting off to the west, find his firing position. Now the M44 is quite a nippy Arty. It's built on the chassis of an M41, the Bulldog. Whoa! And where's he going? He's crossing the water. Now, I haven't seen this done many times before, but I know it can be done. And he's going to set up on the other side of the river. Yep, he's going into the bushes. And he's going to fire from there. Now, I've just increased this minimap. And, yep, we found some targets straight away. Somebody's gone up to the magic bush from the opposite direction. And we can see a Marder 38T retreating. Oh, he stopped just as Ratao fired. Call him Ratao actually, or RATAOMASTER. But, oh, there's a Hetzer. Tier 4 German TD, rounds out. Direct hit kills him. 240 hit points. The application of a 155mm shell right into the front armour of that tank destroyer wiped him out. Now Su-85, that's a Soviet tank destroyer, and he's side on to RATAOMASTER. He fires a round in. Oh, overshot him, but it almost got him. Now there's another one, an Su-100, just going down from the magic bush, and he's right next door to him is a Covenanter. Now that could be a bombardier. It's a possible bombardier. If he can get the round into them. Rounds out. And he wipes out the Covenanter. Side on he was when that round went in. Now, can he take out that Su-100? I certainly think so. The T-3485 is advancing. So I don't think the Su-100 is going to want to back away too far. Because he might be vulnerable. Ah, but the Marder is very vulnerable because he's stationary. And that's a kill shot. A one-shot kill shot. 270 it said on the board. But I think actually he did most of the damage before, so he only registered 14 hit points. Or did he? No, he didn't hit it before, but that's how much it lost. Now it's firing on the Su-100. Big hit, 244 hit points, 3 critical hits, and I think that Su-100 is about to go down. He's picked up some stun assist on it as well. Yep, the Su-100 is no more. Okay, Excelsior, British Premium Heavy, and he gets, oh, he's got a fire. He hit the engine bay. Wow, and he took it out. It's destroyed by the fire. He obviously didn't have a fire extinguisher, and he was wiped out. Okay, enemy M8A1 tank destroyer crossed the river, but he's been killed by the IKV-103 up on the ridgeline. It appears now it's turned into a west-east battle, because there are no forces from RATAOMASTER's team on the other side of the river. He fired that round in blind at the last known position of T-67. Now the good thing is that RATAOMASTER is actually using his C key to tell, or his C key, he's using his keys to tell his team when he's reloading and which targets he's going after. That's a very good idea because it lets his team know when he'll have a shell available next time. Okay, he's fired in another speculative round at the corner of that house, which is where a tank destroyer might be hiding to try and shoot down. And the SAV M43 has gone across the river and he's trying to get eyes on the enemy. Now there are no light tanks left on his team, so that's why a TD is going to do it instead. But that SAV has gone down, he's been taken out. Unfortunately, he went down to the shell from the T-67. Now he's trying to line up a shot on one of the enemy, Matilda coming up to the river. He's going to poke his head round that corner of that building. And the others should spot him. The M3 should spot him very shortly. And when he does, Ratao can put a shell into him. No, he's not showing his team which corner he's covering. He could mark the corner with his T key to say, this is where I'm looking. And that would tell his team what they're going to be, what they should be looking out for. There's that Matilda. He's crossing the river. Line up the shot. And he's having difficulty here. He wants to get an accurate shot. Rounds out. And it's a direct hit. 334. Well, he picks up the 218 and he gets the stun assist as the Matilda's taken out. Okay, there's another Matilda. He's not loaded yet. And the Matilda pulls back behind the building. But the T-3485 seems to be going forward quite aggressively. And he's crossing to the shallows. So I think he's not going to go over on the bridge. He's going to go over on the shallows. But the Matilda's exposed himself again. And he took out the M3... No, the enemy M44 took out the M3D. And there must be another tank there because... And he gets a splash kill on the Matilda. But those trees are going down there. And yet it's the enemy M3. The M3 Lee. Now, can he get around into it? He's stopped because of the buildings. But Ratao can hit him from here. In fact, he could splash kill him from here. But he's had to divert his attention back to the cap because the T-3485 is in the cap. And he fires around him, expecting the T-34 to move forward. It didn't. So that's unfortunate again. The T-67's on this side of the map and attacking the T-34. Now, can Mateo help him? I think he can. He can splash kill that T-67 with nothing. He gets around close. And he's badly damaged the T-67 for that T-34 to kill. One shot killed, there it's gone. Good work. So he's assisted his teammate by wiping out most of the health of that tank. Right, there's two in the cap. There's the M3 Lee. He can take that out very easily. He fires around where he thinks it's going to go, but it doesn't go there. It stops and turns. He's only got 4 hit points, but the T-3485 takes him out. It's just him and the T-34 versus 3 opponents. And the T-3485 on the enemy team is continuing to cap. Now, he must be over on this side, and he has actually splashed him because he's got 48 cap points reduced. Now the enemy's still there. He's loaded. Rounds out. Oh, RNG sends the shell right over the top of the T-34 and it misses, and he's lost his teammate. That means he's now all on his own. The T-3485 has pulled back, so he's not in the cap, but he's pulling forward again to cap. He's loaded, and he shoots, and he kills the T-34. Right, now it looks to me like he's going to have to cross the river again, get to the other side. Yep, and that's exactly what he's going to do. I think there's some shallows here. Yep, he's using the shallows. It's not too deep. I think after seeing this replay, a lot of players in the M44 will be using that, but it's not advisable all the time because this is what is known as the corner of fail on Erlenberg, and usually teams end up in this particular corner outnumbered and corners from all sides, and this is where they normally fail. But he's relocating himself down to the south. I think he's actually going to go and try and take the enemy cap. Now the Matilda in chat is saying this is a battle of the M44s, and that's true because the enemy team has an M44. In fact, if I look on the map, yes, the enemy team has an M4 and an M44, and the enemy M44 does have a kill. There's the M4. He's been seen. Now that M44 will be firing at him very soon. He needs to change position quickly. He's using the rock as a shield. Oh, that was annoying. The rock actually got in the way, and he has to back off a little because that M44 will hit him if he keeps moving about the same spot. The rock actually caused the gun to go out of alignment and he lost it. Now he knows he's going to come around that corner, and he shotguns him, but he only does half the damage. Oh, this could be awkward. Now the great thing about the M44 is it has got speed. Now he's going to be playing Ring Around the Roses, but the problem is he's got that M44 to think about as well, and he doesn't want to stay in one place too long, because the enemy M44 will take him. And he shotguns again, and he doesn't have it. It's not enough, but he can ram kill now. He could ram kill that M44. Now he's not going to. He could have driven straight on. I've done it. I've actually done it to a heavy tank with an M44. You can ram kill them. Now he's lining up and shotguns him this time. He's taken a round. I think if he'd rammed the M4 the first time, was on the second shot, I think his losses and damage would have been less than he actually suffered by taking that shot. But what's surprising is the enemy M44 has not fired at him. And that indicates to me maybe the enemy M44 is actually in the north and couldn't fire at him because the castle was in the way. I think the enemy M44 is in the north, but probably on the east side of the battlefield. Okay, he's not giving away his position, but knocking down that tree has told the M44 where he is. So that wasn't very smart. But on the other side of the coin, if he does start capping and the enemy M44 comes back to try and reset the cap, they've both got the same view range. Only the enemy M44 will be able to use the bushes to try and find out where he is before firing. He could probably sit up on that hill in grid square H9 and look down on the cap and see where RATAOMASTER is. So RATAOMASTER needs to use the terrain to try and mask his position. We still don't know where that M44 is precisely, but I think he's on the east side of the map, and I think he's in the north, and I think he's now on his way back. Because there'd be no point in trying to cap at the other end. The difference is enough that RATAOMASTER would succeed by capping. He's got 7 kills. If he gets this last one, he gets a Radley Walters as well. I think everybody on this team is anxious. I'm also thinking that maybe there's still a 2-minute warning. Maybe he thinks that the enemy's over in that corner, and that's why he's positioned himself behind those bushes to try and conceal himself. There's the enemy M44. He came up, he was on the east side, but now it's a case he's also locked on and he shotguns him. He could ram kill him now. He could ram kill him. Now the other guy is going to reload first because he fired first. So he needs to ram kill. He needs to get in there before. And he does. And they both die. Oh no. Oh, that's a draw. Oh no. Oh, and everybody's laughing. Oh, not laughing, they're groaning at this point, I think. Oh, what an end to the battle. Oh, so sad after all the work he did to get a draw. Oh, because they both died simultaneously and there's nobody left alive to claim the win. It's an ace tanker for RATAOMASTER in the M44. He picked up an eye for an eye medal because he killed the enemy who killed him. And he picks up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 25 critical hits in this battle. He set alight that Excelsior and it burned to death. So he gets an arsonist medal. He gets a duelist medal because he did damage or killed 2 enemy tanks who did damage to his vehicle during the battle. And he picks up a Gore's medal because the amount of damage he did exceeded 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. he picked up a Radley Walters Medal for getting at least 8 kills, because basically that M44 was the 8th kill. And he picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage to the enemy, at least 20% of the hit points of the enemy team. And he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. Oh, it must be so heartbreaking, but then that is a lovely collection of medals to get, and to get an ace tanker as well. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the most damage, 2,774 hit points, and the most kills, 8. And yes, he got the most base XP as well, nearly twice what the best enemy team player got. But definitely more than the enemy M44 who killed him. Now, he fired 22 rounds, got 10 hits, 10 penetration, 6 splash damage, did damage of 2,774 hit points, of which 2,034 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit, 1 penetration from the M4, and he spotted 2 enemy vehicles that hadn't been seen before. That was the M44, and trying to think or rack my brains of which was the other vehicle that he didn't that hadn't been seen, but I think that may have been the could have been the M3, but anyway, he damaged 12 of the enemy, killed 8 of them, and damage due to the player's assistance was 50 hit points, and damage due to the vehicles he stunned was 434. Actually, I think the other vehicle he spotted was the M4, which hadn't actually been spotted because he didn't do any damage during the battle. I think he must have been back in the cap. He stopped also, or actually managed to capture 64 cap points at the point at which he died. And on a standard account, he earned 31,667 credits. But he also got the Achievements Award for getting epic medals, and that's 3,671 credits, which bounces up the total to that of a tank that actually would have won the battle. He received a total then of 35,338 credits, but after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away 22,268 credits, which is a decent total for any standard battle, for any standard win, that is. He received 849 experience points, but he also gets the Achievements Award there as well, so the total he gets is 1,318 experience points in total. But I'm sure most Arty players will feel for you for doing so much work, especially your team, and then to be denied it at the last moment because you didn't have enough hit points to survive the RAM kill by the enemy M44. I mean, you really did badly damage the enemy M44, and I suspect actually it probably would have been easier if instead of actually ramming him, you actually driven straight past him, or tried to avoid him by driving straight past him. Then you could have turned and shot him afterwards. But trying to think of it afterwards, in the heat of the moment, it's very, very difficult decision to make to what you have to do. But nice try. I'm sure you will win your next battle, but at least you got a Radley Walters out of it, so well done. If you enjoyed this replay, please do give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in the next video.